Hey, it's the Empire. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon for more videos. We taking over. Let's go, champ. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's go.
Hey, it's the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Boxing or boxing. Now, man, after this Terrence Crawford fight, man, against Amir King Khan. My boy Kell Brook was in the crowd, man, watching this fight. And he's like, you know what? I want that guy. I want smoke with Bud. I want to fight this guy. And soon after this fight happened, man, Eddie Hearn talked to Bob Arum, and then they're negotiating this fight right now. Now, this is from BoxingScene.com. It's really interesting stuff. It was actually said that as soon as watch this is straight from BoxingScene.com. It says Brooks promoter Eddie Hearn has spoken to top-ranked CEO Bob Arum about making a deal to face Crawford. Right now, it's crazy, man, because Amir Khan looked at Kell Brook in his eye and told him that they're gonna fight next, and then within a week later, Amir Khan fights Terrence Crawford. Crazy stuff, man. Brook is really mad about that, and people are still asking Kell Brook about the Amir Khan fight. And he said, man, listen, this guy looked me in my eye and told me we were going to get the fight, and then next week fights Terrence Crawford. So, nah, man, the fight's not going to happen. So, Amir Khan is throwing out Kell Brook's name at this point in his career to try to get some relevance because, after his loss with Terrence Crawford, and Kell Brook's like, nah, man, we're not going to fight this guy, bro. The thing is, Amir Khan had some legitimacy before this Terrence Crawford fight to fight Kell Brook. That being said, I mean the fight's still there, but because Kanye was technically knocked out and it was by low blow, but he couldn't continue, so it wasn't like he got stopped or anything like that. But so I mean his stock didn't go down too much, but at the same time, it would have been a bigger fight they fought right now instead of after Khan took that loss. Brook wants to fight Terrence Crawford, and if that fight happens, it's definitely going to happen in the UK. So that's going to be a really big fight. And the thing about it is, Kell Brook used to be ranked number one welterweight before he fought Errol Spence Jr. And he's a really big guy. I mean, he's a guy who's actually fought up to middleweight when he fought Triple G. So he's a really big guy, man. And the thing is, Terrence Crawford is a really small guy, and I keep stressing that people need to understand that Terrence Crawford is a really short guy. He's really small. He's a guy. This is like his third or fourth weight class. I think it's his third weight class, right? And Terrence Crawford, the thing about him is, we don't know if he can go up to 154. I don't think he can make that weight division. I think he's too small for that division. I think 154, 147 is his peak. Now, Kell Brook, in contrast, has always been a 147 fighter. So he's always been at this one weight class his whole career. So he's already really big. People talk about Kell Brook, how he balloons in weight, how he's really big. Post fights. After fights, he just goes up in weight because he's naturally a bigger guy. So Kell Brook definitely has a chance in this fight, man. I'll be really excited to see his fight. Kell Brook really wants that redemption from the Errol Spence loss, and he really wants to redeem himself. And the one of the steps to make that happen is to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. That's a really good fight for him. Now people talk about his eyes being messed up now, but I mean this guy, to get his eye sockets fixed, he had to get stainless steel in his eye. So at this point in his career, both his eyes have steel in them. So I don't think anyone has to worry about Kell Brook's eye messing up anymore. So that being said, I give Kell Brook a good shot to win this fight, man. I'm not making a prediction or anything, but this is definitely a competitive fight, to say the least. So yeah, man, look out for this fight, man. This fight could easily happen. For Terrence Crawford, besides Errol Spence, everyone else is tied up with fights. I know people are talking about Errol Spence fighting Sean Porter. That's already taken. Danny Garcia is probably going to fight somebody else. A lot of the big name fighters are already tied up fighting each other at PBC. Terrence Crawford is probably going to have to look elsewhere outside of Al Haymon fighters to fight. And then Kell Brook's the biggest name by far. There is no one else. So that being said, Terrence Crawford is most likely going to be fighting Kell Brook next. So yeah, man, look for that fight. It's going to happen. And in my opinion, it should happen, because Terrence Crawford really has no options. I already talked about how earlier Leonard Ellaby said that there's so many fights that can happen in PBC. We can just basically starve out Terrence Crawford, and that's basically what they're gonna do. Until he fights, who they want him to fight. And anyway, the thing is, Amir Khan, I think he was paid like $6 million for this fight or something like that. He got paid a lot of money for this Terrence Crawford fight, and Amir Khan is seen as like a B or C level fighter. And the thing is, when you're paying Al Heyman fighters that aren't A-class fighters, A-class money, you know? So Khan's like a C-class fighter, a C-plus fighter getting A-plus money. The thing is, it's going to suck Bob Arum's financial, prospects dry, because you're fighting mediocre fighters. You have to pay them up a lot of money to even get them in the ring with Terence Crawford. So that being said, the longer this fight is drawn out with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, the more Top Rank's gonna have to pay up to get Terence Crawford legitimate opponents. That's what's gonna happen to Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford put himself in a situation. I always talk about how Terence Crawford should never sign Top Rank. That's his fault. But I mean, regardless of all that, I really do think this fight with Terence Crawford and Kell Brook will be a big fight. I think Kell Brook will really come for this fight. And Kell Brook didn't look great his last performance, but he actually talked about how, he said he was fighting a bum, and he really, he didn't really train hard for that guy. Sometimes people need motivation, and when you're at the top of the division and you're regarded as the best, and then you fall off, your motivation definitely drops. Anyone can relate to that. If you're the best at one point and then you lost everything by losing to an upcoming prospect like Errol Spence Jr., that's definitely a motivation loss right there. But anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about this Terence Crawford, Kell Brook thing, man. I think that's a really big fight. And I think Kell Brook is actually going to train for this fight. I think Kell Brook hasn't looked good in his recent fights because he hasn't really been training ever since the Errol Spence loss. It's just hard, I'm pretty sure Kell Brook was depressed after he lost to Errol Spence. Everyone knows that. There's a lot of stories coming out with Kell Brook after the loss. There's a lot of stuff that happened. I'm not going to get into everything that happened with Kell Brook, but it's pretty crazy stuff. Look it up yourself. But let me know how you guys feel about it, though, man. Like, comment, subscribe. This is The Empire. Geobusting Empire. Peace.